Hey everyone, this is Vortie here, and yep, I started the video in the middle of or end of an arena fight. So the reason I wanted to jump in today was because of the announcements that we have received this morning, which are insane. This was the thing I've been waiting for a while. Personally, I do like the King Mog events. However, I love raids. They're my favorite so far because of how they are in Japanese version of the game. They're just super exciting, and they're like, I don't know, they're my favorite part of the game at least. And I think we're gonna get into that hoop that I was talking about before, where we're actually in a position where the events are gonna be they kind of follow a pattern. So it would first be, let's say, like an event like we had Final Fantasy II event, and then we're gonna have a MOG event, and then we're gonna have a raid, and then it's like rinse repeat, and it goes like that. So it's constantly being new. And then sometimes they actually alternate. They'll have like an event, then they'll have a raid, and then they'll have a King Mog event. So they like flip-flop around like that, and I think we're starting to get into that position. Now let me explain to you why. I'm pretty sure most of you have already seen this. However, we're gonna jump right into it. I'm gonna avoid this thing here, Gill Snapper Cave. I will be making it. Actually, you know what? I'll jump into it real quick. Gill Snapper Cave is coming out again this weekend. I will be doing a video on this just to kind of show that it's also been changed, as has the Metal Gigantars, like the Cacturduans, which now they can give you like 5 to 7 of the big turtles, the fat ones. They give you more Gill. So obviously not everybody needs Gill, but if you do need Gill, pardon me, if you do need Gill, your chance to make up that Gill so you don't have to worry about it is literally 1 day of farming. If you sit there and you farm it for a day, you might actually be setting yourself up for a lot of success than if you just avoid it. So I know a lot of people are going to be saying, oh, avoid the Gill Snapper's Cave. Yeah, well, if you've been around for a long time and you already have a bunch of units leveled up and you don't really care, then you're kind of like myself in a situation where I'm not really leveling a lot of characters to max, so I'm not wasting my Gill very often. But some of you guys are in the start of a beginning the game and you guys are struggling. So my advice to you guys, because the event that's coming up right now is not going to be a farming event, it's not even going to be related to your energy. I don't think it's going to be these orbs, and because I'll explain why in a second, but because you're not going to be needing to waste your energy on this, you should be using your energy to prepare yourself for the coming months. So if you really want to be like how I was, I got pissed off and I was like, I hate being so poor, so I literally spent when the Gill Snapper Cave came around, I literally spent, while the whole event was there, I ignored every other event, and literally all energy I spent on the Gill Snapper's Cave till I had so much Gill I didn't know what to do with it, and I just like, you know what, now I'm good. And since then I haven't had any problems. Every single day I buy that stupid little what do you call it, I go in here and I buy, as you can already see, I bought the bundle of enchantments. I bought the daily one, which is it's like what do you call it, 15,000 Gill for like that random thing. Today it was sacred crystals, so if you need some, you should grab those. And like, it's not even flinching me. Like, look at that, I'm still in 3 million. So just letting you know, that's how I did it. And if you really wanted to know how I got to having so much Gill, I literally spent the whole weekend of Gill Snapper's Cave and just farmed it out. I said I don't want to worry about Gill because that's a stupid thing to worry about. Just focus on, you know, the actual game itself. Forget the Gill farming. And that's exactly what happened. So there you go. Anyways, that's that. So the good stuff that's coming up. Number one, good job everyone. You guys did fantastic. And the reason I'm saying you guys did fantastic, you guys voted for these characters. This banner, it actually might be the best banner we're gonna get for a very, very, very long time. And the reason why is because we voted for this. These characters you see here are the #1 characters in the game right now. So going from top left down, so Refia, the top left girl right there, Refia is the #1 healer in the game by far, easy. With dual cast, she later on can compete as well. Okay, even when Tillith gets her 6-star awakening and all that stuff, Refia will be right behind Tillith as long as you have dual cast. Okay, Sissel is the best tank right now, arguable with a few of the other tanks like White Knight Noel or whatever you want to call him. But then again, White Knight Noel was a limited time unit, so if you guys know my stand, normally limited units, they don't really hold a high level to me because it is attainability. If you can't attain a unit, who the hell cares, right? And I take that stand a lot, even when there's 5 stars that are not exclusive. if it's very difficult to get, that character holds a lower standing in my personal books, and it will be holding it in your books as well, because you guys won't attain them. So who cares? Like, why even bother? Are they good units? And if you do get them, should you be excited? Hell yeah. But if you're never gonna get them, who cares? You can't just sit there and gloat at it and be like, oh my god, like if I had this unit, imagine how good it would be. Well, you know what? That's why Cecil is so good. He's a 3-star. A lot of people can get their hands on him, so there's no reason for us to say like, oh, we don't have him. If you haven't gotten him yet, that sucks. However, he is the 3-star based unit in this banner with Zidane, so you're going to be getting lots of dual wields and lots of Cecils. So it's gonna be super good. I don't know why I call him Cecil, Cecil, whatever. So you get the best tank in the game. Then you're gonna get what I would consider in global the best TM dual wield, because we are so meta toward dual wield, and all of our things are so about dual wield. It's the #1 TM without any questions. It doesn't matter what you're talking about, the Ring of the Lucia, if you're talking about, you know, any of these other, it's the #1 TM, because we are so physically based. Okay, if you get this guy, definitely this is your chance to farm up that dual wield, and you're gonna see what I'm talking about once you get a few of the dual wields and you start putting them on your units. You're gonna see how much better your units are. Any unit, physical unit right now that gets a dual wield on them that's already good is gonna be even better. Like for example, Shizuru is gonna become a monster. Here's a prime example: Noctis and Gilgamesh, which are also in this banner. Noctis, he's okay when he doesn't have dual wield, but second he gets dual wield, he becomes a monster. His warp break, okay? You apply warp break, he will do attack and defense break. So next time he does warp break, he'll actually do more damage. He essentially boosts his own damage with debuffing his own attacks. It's actually phenomenal. It's one of the best things you can put on Noctis. Same thing for Gilgamesh. He gets to use Divider twice. He gets to use his Tri Attack twice. Like, come on. It is crazy. Shizuru uses her Phantom Strike twice. Are you kidding? You get 3 Shizurus and you do that? It's like a chain heaven. But anyways, dual wield is amazing, and the fact that Zidane is here, that's freaking amazing as well. Next, you have Gilgamesh. So, as I told you with Zidane, Zidane has dual wield. His TM is the best. Gilgamesh has got Genji Glove, and Genji Glove, or Genji Gloves, has dual wield on it, plus it gives you attack and magic 10%. So it's like having a hero ring on a glove plus dual wield. So his TM is technically better than Zidane's, but however, like I said earlier, accessibility puts it down on the scale, right? If you get Zidane's, you might get lots of Zidane's and 0 Gilgamesh's, so Zidane is going to be valued more to you, okay? But in the grand scheme of things, if you were going to say, if everybody had Gilgamesh and everybody had Zidane, which would be better? Obviously, Gilgamesh's Genji Gloves will be a lot better. Genji Gloves are a accessory slot. Zidane's gloves, or Zidane's dual wield, is a materia slot, okay? Next, you have Noctis. Noctis is amazing. There's not much else to say to him. He's the best utility character in the game, and by utility I mean he can do good damage, he can debuff, he can raise, he can heal. He's self-sustainable, where he can pretty much heal himself and stay out of battle by jumping, doing point warp. He'll recover his hit points as MP. Like, he is an amazing utility unit. If you get Noctis, congratulations, because he is amazing. Okay? So, last one on the right there is Chizuru. Chizuru is a very, very good character. She goes from 3-star to, no, sorry, not 3-star, 4-star to 6-star. And her TM is called Blade Mastery. She increases your damage by 50% if you are wearing a katana. It does not stack, okay? So just so you know, it does not stack, so you need to have at least one on the unit that you have. So right now, most of us, or most of people out there that are trying to farm, they're trying to get their hands on Genji Blade, which is a katana. So you would actually have a boost of 50% damage on that katana. So a very, very good TM, especially where we are in the game right now on global, because we do have access to that Genji Blade. I know not all of you can beat him yet, but don't worry. Hopefully this banner will help you out a lot, especially dual wield. Alright, and as far as a unit, Chizuru is amazing. She can do some crazy chains, and my advice normally with characters like Chizuru is to have like 1 or 2 maxed out. If you have 3 maxed out, like, that's plenty. Don't go any farther. I don't think you need any more, unless you really, really want to be cheesy and get like a whole team of Chizaru's 6-star and then just do Phantom Strike or whatever it's called and just dominate people in PvP or whatever. But you're gonna need to have 5 good katanas to make it work, okay? So that is the banner in a nutshell. I don't think we really need to do a review of this. However, I will do a quick, you know, a banner overview like I always do just before the banner comes out, because this banner comes out on Friday. So just before the banner comes out, I will just do a quick overview where we're just going to talk about each character, and then that way you can decide for yourself. If you don't have them, you can be like, you know what, this is going to fit in my party or it's not. So no big deal. So yep. Oh, also the other thing, when you summon, so I don't know if this is a typo or not, but it says here you will get a 3-star trust Moogle. So what this means is, in like Japanese, you summon and you'll get a trust Moogle with your summon. So I'm hoping it's with every character, but it says here for some. So maybe let's say you have a chance of getting a trust Moogle for every summon you make, but in the Japanese version you pretty much get one for every unit you summon. You summon a unit, you get a trust Moogle. And the way the trust Moogles are, it's either a 5% to all, or 5% to a materia. The majority of the times it's the materia, so like the 5% to all, I have never seen it on the Japanese version myself, but you pull, let's say you do a single crystal pull, you pull and you get a trust Moogle. You click on the trust Moogle and it'll say, you know what, like let's say you pulled Refia, but the trust Moogle, it'll say 5% to dual wield, which means only Zidane can eat that trust Moogle. So it's specific for that TM or that materia slot, right? So it's kind of interesting to explain if you haven't played the Japanese version, but when you do see it, it's so simple and understanding. You'll be like, oh, duh. Like it's not very hard to understand. It's not a hard concept. You do a summon, you get a trust Moogle. The Moogle can be any of the TMs in the game right now, unless they limit it to just this banner. But I'm just saying how it works in Japanese version, because we don't have a lot of information, and it seems like there's some miscommunication, like free 3-star trust Moogle for some with every summon. So that gives you a chance of saying like there's a chance that you might get a trust Moogle. So if that's the case, then that's the case. In the Japanese version, it's you get it 100%. There's no some will get it. So People Choice, it'll drop on March 17th, which is a Friday. Here are your most wanted units. We just went over these already. Noctis is amazing. Ring of Lucia, fantastic. All these are great. His abilities. Gilgamesh Genji Glove, which is the attack and magic 10%, enables dual wield. He's got a Divider, which is does unmitigated damage to all enemies. Super sweet. Sorry, it's Phantom Shadow, not Phantom Strike. Phantom Shadow is the ability where it does crazy AoE and damages everyone. That's Shizuru, and then Refia's amazing healer. She gets full life heal. She gets a buff and golden. Like I said, best healer. And then Sissel is one of the best TMs in the game as well. Definitely good. And then Zidane here. So that's that. Let's jump into the part that I'm also super excited for. So there's no information on the raid right now, which I'm expecting to get probably right after the maintenance. But anyways, so we're getting our first real raid. The raid we first got was the Christmas raid, which was during Christmas time, which was a little bit like, I don't know, it was okay, but it was our chance to kind of get a feel for it. They were probably testing the mechanics of the raid and how it's going to work, which is really good, which means we're going to have less hiccups here, even though they can just port it from the Japanese version. However, anyways, we're getting our first raid. It is Final Fantasy XIV, and our first raid is going to be Ifrit. Plus, we're going to be getting 3 new characters from this raid. How does this work, you ask? These characters are free. Okay, so you don't have to summon on these characters, you don't have to waste money on these characters. And this is going to become a thing going forward as we do more raids. And it's also going to introduce free characters plus banner characters. So for example, a banner will come out that's going to have, let's say, 4 characters, and then you're going to have a free banner which is just like this, and you're going to be able to summon, let's say, 3 of the 5 characters. And some of them you'll actually be able to summon all of them, just like how this one is. In this case, we don't have a banner. The People's Choice banner will come at the same time as this will, so you'll be wasting your lapis on the People's Choice banner, but you'll be getting these characters for free. Alright, so these characters are pretty good. You got, like, I think your Shulta is like a healer. Maniphilia is, in my opinion, like as good as Maria or whatever, the green mage that we got that was a 5-star going to 6-star that just recently came out. And Thancred is, I don't know, he was a lot more badass in Final Fantasy XIV, but in this one he's kind of like a tank. Like he can take and provoke, well, he's a paladin technically. He can use like a move called Flash that allows him to like gain hate, which is like a big move in Final Fantasy XI Online and Final Fantasy 14 and 14 Reborn. Like Flash is a move for paladins to kind of take hate. He knows that move, which helps him increase. I think it's like 70%, something pretty high. It's better than Provoke almost, I think. No, it's not. I think Provoke is 80%. Whatever. Anyways, it's a like a Provoke. He gets it. So you have like a tank, sort of tank, not so strong tank, but he starts at a 3-star, goes to 5-star. And then you have these guys that I think she's a 3-star, 4-star going to 6-star, and 5-star going to 6-star. I think it is. Oh, you know what? Why not just scroll down, Vortie? You silly goose. Alright, so these guys are from Final Fantasy 14. They're going to be summoned by Ifrit raid coins. So you're going to be doing this raid event where you're going to be fighting Ifrit, and for damaging Ifrit and doing more damage to him and beating the different difficulties from him, you're going to get coins. They're going to be called Ifrit coins. And then there's going to be a separate banner where you're going to be able to waste these Ifrit coins to get summons. But it's not like you spend the coins and you get a summon. No, it's going to be a big pool of nonsense. You're going to be summoning for materials, you're going to be summoning for items and like trust moogles and stuff like that too. So they haven't announced everything here. That's going to be probably saved for the raid event. So in the meantime, you want to keep that in mind. It's not going to be like you press a button and you're going to get one of the 3 characters. No, there's still a high chance of randomness. The good thing is these raid coins in Japanese version are not very difficult to get, so I don't know how they're going to transfer it here to global, as I know they always make things more difficult for us, but the raid coins are normally very easy to get. My experience with all the raids up to date on the Japanese version is, even though like my count is not very good on the Japanese version, I was able to get all the characters and was able to craft all the gear that came with the event without any problems. Okay, so that was really cool. So we're gonna have to see exactly what they do, and we'll talk about that more in detail once the raid event gets posted, so we can kind of look at the rewards. But there's gonna be a variety of rewards. We're probably looking at items like that are craftable, like armor, helmets, blah blah blah, sword, like weapons probably, maybe some other like trust moogle style things as well. So we'll take a look at that. But exactly what it is, these characters are gonna be free. You're gonna be using these coins to get them. You're just gonna craft them. All right. So here we go. This is going to be our big kahuna for this free banner, which is gonna be I think it's called Y'shtola. But Y'shtola her job is the 7th Dawn Scion. She's technically like the super healer in Final Fantasy 15. Like she's just like a goddess. Like literally, she just keeps people alive. But anyways, before I continue, be prepared. These are free characters, which means their TMs are not going to be very good. So part of my lack of enthusiasm when we go over them, right? So you get Shard of Genius, which is boost your spirit when equipped with a staff, and defense when equipped with a rope. It's okay for healers, but again, it's a wasted material slot because you can be using other things that are more important, like, you know, boosting your MP by 20% and stuff like that. So you know what? Unless you really need your defense and you don't want you to get smacked around, then, you know, go for it. But again, we'll have to see how big this is. I think it's if I remember correctly, it was like 20% to each or something like that. Whatever, nothing super high. So she gets a really cool move which I like, is called Benediction. It fully recovers hit points for one ally. So let's say your tank gets smacked silly, you can just hit him with Benediction. Plus she already has Presence of Mind, which is like double cast, it's a dual cast. She already has it in her kit, so she can do that right away. So she can definitely stand her own ground when it comes to that. Her like selection of equipment is what a white mage would wear in like most games, like staffs, rods, maces, and like a shield, like a light shield or whatever, with like cloths and whatever. Not super high. What she's also really unique to, she's a white mage styled black mage caster. So she's almost like a red mage, but she only knows AoE spells. So if I remember correctly, she covers like, because I think I have her on my Japanese account, I think she can cast like wind, stone. I think that's it. I think she only does wind and stone, and I think she knows like light as well. I think she's the first character we get that learns holy. I think that's what it is. Yeah, I think she's the first character we get that learns her holy. She also has raise in her kit, which is 30% raise. She learns Kuraja. Yeah, and then the Benedict. That's all I can remember. I remember she had a really interesting buff or debuff. Yeah, and if it's the same thing like a Japanese, she should be getting an exclusive materia during the event, but I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Next is going to be Minfilia. You can say that all fun and backwards and upside down. So Minfilia, in my opinion, it's kind of like a red mage. Okay, so her TM is not very good. Hydalian Guard, boost level resistance to 10 by 10%. She's got the same thing as Garnet. Garnet's Melody of Life gives you 20%, and Garnet existed long before that, so people probably already have Garnet. So if you're looking for that, it's the same thing. The only good thing about this is it's free. So if you get a bunch of her and you feed her into her and you get her TM, congratulations, okay? Also, making a note on this, don't throw these characters away. These are free characters. Keep them, stack them up. You never know when you might need them, right? So she gets logistical support, which is like, it's like a Suna. Leader's Disposition, boosts confusion resistance for all allies, which is a very interesting buff. Word of the Mother, nullify poison, blind, silence, paralyze, confusion, stone. Great. Her gear selection is meh. I can't remember all of it, so I'm not going to go through it. What I wanted to talk about her is she is a green mage. She knows all the buffs like Barstonera, Thundera, Waterera, Aerorera, Stonera, Blazaga, whatever, all those things. Plus, which is unique to her, she knows AoE light resistance, AoE dark resistance. She can also buff your whole party for 5 turns by boosting their defense and spirit up. And she also knew, oh yeah, she's no, she's not the first unit. I think we messed that up a little bit. She should have been the first unit that we got that did a single target 100% attack buff. I think we got Ariana Grande, who does something like that, but she would be buffing, she can buff, if I recall correctly, attack, defense, magic, and spirit for one person for 3 turns. So she can pick to buff attack on one person, or defense on one person, or magic on one person. So for example, let's say you wanted to, your tank is going to be taking all the damage and you know that they're going to get targeted. You can do a single target buff where you buff their defense by 100%. Or you know you're going to be doing some crazy damage, buff your like a single buff to one target for 100% boost in damage. I think that's all I can remember from her. She had Asuna, which is her Word of the Mother, I believe. No, logistics support is like Asuna. That's right. This is something different. Word of the Mother is a AoE buff that boosts. I think it boosts. No, it's not. Actually, no. Word of the Mother was a freaking passive. What am I talking about? I'm getting confused here. Word of the Mother is a passive that she learns, where she learns 100% resistance to everything. So she's a green mage, pretty good. She's also got 7th Dawn Scion. Her stats are really crazy for green mage. Like she's got pretty much on par for everything where she should be. She's like in the center, which is really good. And next is a thank card. Did we talk about her TM? Yeah, her TM blows. This guy's TM is boost hit points and attack by 10%. Right, we already have that. But again, this guy is free. You're probably going to be getting a lot of him in the pulling system, so you're going to be getting this TM a lot of. So while you're getting a lot of them, just feed them into each other, get the TM, and enjoy the TM. For those who are new, this is your chance to boost your characters up a little bit. Stats are meh. He's also the 7th Dawn Scion. He's a 3-star. He gets Bloodbath, which drains hit points. Tempered Will, boost paralysis and stone resistance for caster. Circle of the Scorn, damage all enemies and poison them. So he's very interesting as well. Like I said, he's like a tank. He's got the selection of gear he can use is pretty much what you would see in a tank, like heavy armor, heavy shields, great swords, etc., right? His moves are alright. The only notable thing I remember from, like I mentioned earlier, he can flash, which is like provoke. He can provoke. His bloodbath allows him to do damage and steal life. Oh yeah, that's right. What was interesting about this guy, he's the first unit we're going to be introduced into global where you do a move and next turn that move will allow you to do another move. I think that the move is called Savage Blade, I think it was called on Japanese, if I remember correctly. Savage Blade, and then you do Savage Blade, and the next turn you will have another attack that does now like, you know, like 300% increased attack or like 150%, whatever. It's like a double. It doubles his attack, and it's called like a different move. This happens a lot in Japan, where you get like a move, you use one move, and that will trigger next turn that you will be able to use a more powerful move, or a move that like dispels everyone. Like in Noctis's terms, he uses Warp Break, and then he'll trigger this other move, which becomes like a 58 MP move, which does like 800 or 700% more damage. It's super insane. So this is our introduction into that pool of characters, which is really, really cool. All right, so I think I've talked enough here. I think I got everything covered. Once these characters come out, I will go over them more in depth so that we can kind of see what we're getting. But again, you should be very, very excited about this. This is our first chance to getting free units that they're okay. Like, I mean, of all this bunch, I think that Minfilia, I think that's what you want to call her, Minfilia, yeah. Minfilia is probably the best unit because she's a green mage, especially if you don't have Maria. She's really good. Even if you do have Maria, this character is still really good because of her AoE and light resistances. And all of those resistances I said are 70%. Alright, cool. Thank you guys so much for sticking around. If you are new to the video, make sure you, or not your video, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you did enjoy the content and found it informative, make sure you hit that like button, smash it, pop it, kick it, pop it, whatever you gotta do, just hit that like button. Help support me so that I know you guys are enjoying the content. I know the video is a little bit longer, but I got everything covered in there. There should be no questions you should be asking or wondering, alright? If there is by any chance, make sure you let me know in the comment section below. By now, you guys should know I am really good at responding to almost everything as long as I don't miss it and it escapes me, but most of the time I get to everybody's comment. Alright, anyways, thank you so much for sticking around. This is Vortie. I will see you in the next video. I'm out of here. Peace!